Hey guys, I'm Fancy, and this is Murder by Design. So, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Psych Talk. Amanda was supposed to join me, but I don't know if something happened, but I haven't heard from her for a little bit, and she's not here. So, hopefully, she'll pop in at some point, but I'm still going to talk. So, welcome to another episode of Psych Talk, and tonight we're going to be discussing a topic that thoroughly fascinates me, and that's people who fall in love with violent offenders behind bars. These are people that had no personal connection to the criminals before they went to prison. But before we get into that, as always, with any true crime content, there is a great possibility that it will be demonetized. It sucks, but it is what it is. And when you actually talk details of cases, the powers that be get squeamish. So here's how you can help all of us to keep bringing you killer content. First off, make sure you give us a thumbs up if you're over on Facebook, or subscribe to the channel and ring the bell and give us a little a little like here. And that helps us. And that keeps you knowing when we're going to come back again and do another one of these. So, second, we do have a few ways that you can contribute to what we do here. And you can always send us a super chat or super sticker, and you'll get a shout out right this very second when it's sent. And you can always join our Patreon membership platform, which has several levels that get you some pretty epic perks. Or you can head over to our own website where you'll find tons of free content, our members only yearly club, which saves you just a little bit over freaking Patreon. And you can also find our store. And let me tell you, you are going to want to check out what we have going on in our store, because we have some killer designs coming up. In fact, I posted a preview of them, a couple of them on our Instagram at truecrimewives. You'll go look at those, but we have more that Diana just came up with tonight, and I will be releasing those really soon, and we're going to start putting them into the store. They are incredible. So you're going to really love those, guys. And if you sign up for the Patreon membership club or the yearly club, you're going to get some of that stuff. So, but with no further ado, let's get some psych talk going. So tonight, that, like I said, we were talking about people who fall in love with people behind bars, and we've seen this many times, from Menedez brothers to Bundy to Manson, and even recently with what we've been dealing with Gypsy and Nick, and so I began wondering if there was actually some sort of reasoning for this. And what I found out is that it's an actual disorder. It's called, and I hope I don't screw this up, because I don't know how, it's a really crazy word, but it's hybristophilia. And I think I'm saying that right. And it is recognized as a mental condition when someone, most always a woman, but sometimes men, get intense sexual arousal from a man who's committed notorious crimes. So this comes from, the philia comes from a Greek word meaning love for, while hybristo is derived from a Greek verb meaning to commit an outrage against someone. It's also known as the Bonnie and Clyde syndrome. So, but, we were recently talked about Scott Peterson in our 4-part series finale on the Good Wives Guide to True Crime. And Peterson received over 36 phone calls from women and 1 marriage proposal just on the day he arrived at San Quentin. And our Lieutenant Sam Robinson, the spokesperson for San Quentin Prison, said our high notoriety inmates get the most interest. I have tried to figure this out, but I don't have an answer. And I think it's really crazy. I talked, when we were dealing with Gypsy and Nick and dealing with all of that, we talked with one of the lawyers, a lawyer that was, she's been a defense attorney and a prosecuting attorney for a while. And so she, oh no. And guys, can you guys hear me properly? Guys, let me know if you can hear me properly. Come on, somebody tell me. Okay, so can you guys hear me? Please let me know one way or the other, guys. Somebody tell me. Ty, let me know. Can you hear me? No? Okay. Well, so we were looking into it back then because, these people have attached themselves to people that they've never met before. They didn't have a personal connection to. You can't see me? Oh. Okay, well, I don't know. I really don't know because I'm on. I can see myself. Let me go over to Facebook and make sure you guys can see me. I'm really concerned now. Oh, I hate this. Why does nothing ever work properly? Let's see here. Make sure you guys can see me. Where is the damn feed? Broadcaster. Come here, Rowdy. Yes. I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to figure out where it is. It's not seeming to work properly. Why does this happen every time? Every stinking time. No, I'm there. Okay. I can see me now. Okay. All right. I see myself now. All right. Just want to make sure I was there. Okay, guys. Anyway, I'm so sorry. Anyway, we were looking into this with the Gypsy and Nick thing. We had a crazy situation, where Gypsy was involved with a guy she'd never met before. He was I don't know, he was kind of questionable in my opinion. And you have to be kind of a broken person, I think, to fall to want to be with somebody that's behind bars like this. Now, in Gypsy's case, she was going to get out, but in Nicholas's case, he wasn't. He and these women are just entranced with him, and they feel like they're going to be able to save him in some way, that they're going to come in and they're somehow going to help this poor guy who's been, run over, and he didn't do whatever he was supposed to, that they say he did, and they're going to help him get free, and they're going to live a life of just loveliness together. And that's not going to happen. It's like a fantasy world that these people live in. So what in God's name? Guys, my whole house is shaking. I guess a helicopter just flew over. Yeah, see, Christina says she married a guy in prison, and I can say I was indeed a broken person at the time. But Christina, did you know him before he went to prison, or did you meet him in prison? Because now there's all these different sites. I didn't even know about this, guys. Did you know that there's these sites that you can become a pen pal? Yeah, see, you knew him your whole life. That's a little different. I can understand that. I absolutely can understand that. But somebody who doesn't know them and meets them through, online and through a pen pal system or what have you, I can't imagine doing that. That seems just totally off the wall for me. But anyway, this disorder can manifest in two ways. There's passive and there's aggressive. So a passive manifestation usually is when the person deludes themselves into thinking that the prisoner is innocent. They tend to take on a nurturing role and believe even if he is guilty, that he would never hurt them. They are enraged for the poor boy trapped behind bars, and these lovers generally avoid crime and cultivate what they think is a healthy relationship with the prisoner. It's not a healthy relationship, but they think it is. And then there's the aggressive one. And so aggressive hybristophiliacs are generally thrill seekers. It's exciting to them and sexually charging for them to be involved with an ultimate bad boy. They will go so far as to be complicit in any criminal activity and will willingly participate. So what causes this? What causes people to do this? What causes people to reach out to these types of individuals? And what causes this strange attraction? Oh my God, I'm sorry, I'm stumbling on my words today. What causes this strange attraction? Well, psychologists and psychiatrists alike have offered several different theories. A popular theme is that these women seek out a man they feel can protect and defend them. They see these serial killers or violent offenders as powerful and protective, and they believe he will save her if anyone were to try and harm her. But that seems strange to me, that they think this when the guy is literally behind bars. I don't know how he's going to protect them if he's behind bars and you're being attacked somewhere. He's not going to come and save you. I don't know. So Sheila Eisenberg, and I reached out to her. I'm hoping that we'll get to be able to have her on our show. Is the author of Women Who Love Men Who Kill, says that these women are drawn to men who are bold enough to act on their rage. Even while she denies his culpability, it is his ability to murder that attracts her. He acted on his rage, however, unsuitably. The women could never act on their rage, so murder is her murder. So basically, she's attributing what he did to herself. Being abused as a child, or can they just be born that way? Yeah, I do. I think it has to do with something like that, Stephanie, where it's like daddy issues or abuse. I do. That plays into it. I was reading about that as well, and it does play into this. This is something that I'm not just going to do this one episode on. I want to look into this a lot more and talk about it because it's highly interesting. And there's even cases that have been very dangerous that I'm going to get into in a little bit here. But another expert, forensic psychologist, Catherine Ramsland, who we've actually had on the show. We interviewed her based on another book that she had written. It was really a great interview. Relates some of the reasons that the hybristophiles have used to explain their motivation is some believe they can change a man as cruel and powerful as a serial killer. Others see the little boy that the killer once was, and they seek to nurture him because they feel like the reason he committed his crimes was because he was broken and needed somebody. A few hope to share in the media spotlight or get a book or movie deal, which is what I think was going on in the Gypsy situation. And then there's the notion of like the perfect boyfriend. She knows where he is at all times, and she knows he's thinking about her. While she can claim that someone loves her, she does not have to endure the day-to-day issues involved in most relationships. There's no laundry to do, no cooking for him, and no accountability to him. She can keep the fantasy charged up for as long as she wants. So Christina says it's like a fairy tale, which is why I think it's so appealing to Gypsy. You have a very little time together, so you don't want to ruin it by talking about bad things. So you only focus on the good things. And that's true. That's one of the things that we told, Gypsy got very upset because we were concerned. And we've worked on that case for 4 years. We were very close to the family. I was close to Gypsy at one point in time. And I was very protective of her at the time, thinking, all these different things. And who is this guy that's just all of a sudden striking up some sort of relationship with a girl in prison who killed her mom? And, I think for her, she's looking for look at her side, not looking at his side. I think he wanted to kind of cash in on some of the stuff that she was going to do. And I think he was going about that in a very sneaky way. But with her side, Gypsy is looking for the fairy tale. She's always been looking for the fairy tale because that's all she knows. She grew up on Disney movies and fairy tale thoughts in her head because she didn't have a real life. There was nothing tangible for her to hold on to. Her life consisted of fairy tales and doctors, so she didn't have reality. She's still not in reality because she's locked away in a prison. So she really does not have any like framework for a relationship. I told her that. I said, girl, you have no idea. You may think that he's great and everything, but anybody can be somebody on a phone call for, 20 minutes to 2 hours to 4 hours, whatever. And for, 15 minutes to however long you get to see him on a weekend, they can be anybody they want to for that amount of time. But when you have to live with this person day in, day out, marriage is messy. They are leaving clothes on the floor instead of putting them in the hamper. They are leaving the toilet seat up. There's money problems. There's, do we both want to do this or that? It's not an easy thing, and it takes a lot of work. And, I was telling her, nothing about him. I know everything about him. No, you know nothing about this guy. Truly. You have not spent a second with him in a real setting. You've never gone out on a movie date. You've never argued about how much it is to get a Coke and a popcorn at the movies, right? I mean, it's outrageous. And you've never done any of those things. You've never had a fight because you don't have a real relationship. And it was very upsetting for us to say those things to her, but it was the truth. It was the absolute truth that this is not based in reality. So, okay, let's see what she says. Stephanie says, do you think a baby born from rape can have mental issues if being brought up with love? The reason I'm asking is I know someone who is having issues with her son doing really terrible things to animals and other kids, but has never been around anything like this whole life. It started when he was going through puberty. Stephanie, I think that that's a nurture versus nature kind of thing. I do believe, and that's why we call this murder by design. The idea here was to try and figure out what causes people to do the things they do. And I really think it's kind of a little bit of both. I do believe that nurture plays into it quite a bit. I think that more often nurture is the mitigating factor, but I also do believe that there can be certain like hardwired things into them, because mental illness can be inherited, so if the father is a violent person who maybe is bipolar or schizophrenic or any of those things, that can be passed down to the child. So, and puberty is the usually the time that you start to see them changing and doing things that they would have never done before before this. So, I do think that can happen. I'm not sure if it has anything to do with that, but I definitely would tell your friend to be very cautious and that she needs to get him help. If he's doing terrible things to animals and other people, then he needs serious help. She can't do this on her own. She's going to have to go get him some help to try and stop what that is heading towards. Not every serial killer does these things, and not everybody who does those things becomes a serial killer. It is indicative of those type of things. If you have watched Evil Lives Here, I have seen several cases on there about these types of things where the parents started seeing changes in their children, and they tried and tried and tried to get help, and nobody would help them. They wouldn't listen to them because they hadn't really done anything. These kids hadn't really done anything terrible yet. And I have seen that happen over and over again. And then they end up going and really committing an awful offense at some point. It's really hard to deal with that. And I my heart goes out to your friend. I'm very sorry that she's going through that. So there's been a lot of case studies of this, so I'm going to go through a couple of them. One of them is, obviously is Chris Watts. And I'm going to be actually reading some letters that Chris has gotten in prison from women. Coming up here in a second. But first, I want to talk about Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker. Now, as you know, we're going to go ahead and we're going to be covering that case on our Friday Night Live. And the new Netflix special has come out about him. Now, I lived through all of this where he was. I was 10 when he was going in windows and killing people and doing and sexually assaulting them and all that. So I was petrified. I was scared to death that he was going to come in my window. I was absolutely scared to death. And then there is a woman who married him. Let me go over here. I have some case studies that I pulled up that I wanted to tell you. Oh, Amanda says the link isn't letting her in. Hold on. Let me get you the link. Oh my goodness. She must have had a problem. Probably trying to get in this whole time. Dang it. Okay, hold on. Let me send the link. Paste. There we go. Okay. Hopefully she'll get to join us. Okay, so hold on. That makes sense. Thank you. Yeah, he's being evaluated right now. Unfortunately, where she lives, not much help for children for mental health. It's sad. Then she has to be his advocate. She is going to have to push and push and push and make sure that he gets help. She's going to have to do her own research and try and see if she can help him in her own way, or drive somewhere that she can get help for him, because, I understand it's hard and what she's going through is terrible, but think about what would happen if she doesn't go get him help somewhere, so she's got to be his advocate. She can't just let this go. Stephanie, you got to make sure that she's advocating for him and trying to find some help, because even if she's calling a hotline, I don't know, but there's got to be a way. There's these new things where you can get counselors online now. It's very affordable. I know that they do it on like a sliding scale of how much you can pay. So she might want to check into that, because I've heard that those are really great. So they should be able to, do those things. I hope that she does get help, and I hope that he doesn't end up, in a situation that's pretty bad. So let me see here. Where did I go? I know I had them up. Where did it go? No. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so Richard Ramirez, he was convicted of 13 murders and he was suspected of more, but there was tons of groupies that came to his court appearance, and eventually he marries a magazine editor, which, like, are you serious? Like, a magazine editor, Doreen Lyoy, and he married her in 1996 in the prison waiting room, but she insisted that he wouldn't hurt anybody, and she was fervent that his innocence would be proven to the world. She thought that he was not guilty. And this is something that they do, that they are champions for these men, and they are absolutely they believe full-heartedly. There's a lot of ice. I'm going to try for my computer. Hold on. Oh, she's having problems because of the weather. Okay. But there is, they defend these men. They believe that they did not commit these horrific crimes, even though they were convicted. It's the same thing we're hearing in the Nick case. These women that are attached to Nick, I mean, they make every excuse in the book for the bad behavior that he puts out there. I've read his emails. They are scary. I mean, seriously scary. But I mean, Ramirez got married in prison. Bundy got married in prison to a woman that he did know her before he went to prison, which was Carol. He ended up having a child with her, which shouldn't have happened, but it did. And even the Menedez brothers are both married, but they seem to be the only ones that have made this work. They have had, long-standing relationships and marriages with the women that have married them. They have been able to somehow make it work. And honestly, they seem like pretty healthy relationships. And we're going to be covering the Menedez brothers in great detail. It's going to be one of our bigger cases that we cover this year on the Good Wives Guide to True Crime and here on Murder by Design. We're kind of going to make it like a event that goes across all of our platforms. So that's one of the ones we will be covering. We're also going to cover Ariel Castro and John Bonet. So Lacey Spears. We've got a couple of really big cases that we're going to be talking about. But the most famous one right now, I talked about Peterson, and a person that's very similar to Peterson is Chris Watts. And so when I was doing my research for this, I came across one of the discussion groups that I am in on Facebook, and it is called True Crime Discussion, if you want to go join. And I am going to go ahead and share my screen with you so that you guys can see some of these letters. So this one says, "Hi, Chris. This is Candace again. So I called Weld County Jail and talked to someone, and he said that you would need to add me. But if you don't do that, that's fine. I'll just continue to write letters. Anyway, I hope that you're doing okay. To believe it or not, I think about you often. Well, actually, a shit ton. My cousin shared a news story about you on Facebook, and honest to God, I got so upset about the stupid ass comments that assholes were saying about you. Oh my God, I was legit mad as hell. I absolutely do not believe what everyone is saying about you. In my eyes, they are all lying. Like I've said in my previous letters that I really do care about you. Don't ask me why. Maybe I'm nuts, crazy. Chris will stop writing you if you want me to. It's just that I want you to tell me that. I was so happy that I would have heard from you by November, but no." So she's writing him and she's not even hearing back from him. Here's some more. Let me go back and pull up another one from some other people. Okay, let's see if this one says, "Hi there. You're probably wondering who I am and why I'm writing to you. So let me try to explain and tell you a little bit about who I am. First off, I hope this letter finds you getting through the day as best as you can. My name is Hannah, and I've been the property of DOC since June 2014. I've been following your story for the past few days and just really feel the need to tell you that you've got a complete stranger hoping that you're doing all right and sending you lots of good, cheery energy as you start down this path. You are not alone. God, nothing alone. It keeps going. I'm going to try and reset the router. Okay, she's going to try and reset the router. She's having a lot of trouble. Without going into too much detail right now, I'm sitting on a 13-year sentence for a financial crime and will see parole in November. However, my case was high profile, and I can tell you right now that the media makes the worst situations into hell. I think that's why I feel the connection to you, because the coverage and assumption of you and your case already has me feeling irritated for you. I hope that makes sense. I can only offer this advice to you, Chris. Don't talk to any type of media. They all suck. They will beg for interviews, try to come see you in jail. They'll pull out all of the stops for a few words from you. I mean, these women, this is a woman who's incarcerated, who's writing to him. Like, oh my God. I mean, can you understand this? Like, this is killing me. I can't. I just can't with these people. It just is killing me. Chris Watts killed his wife. He killed his children. And there are these women that are feeling bad for him. That is just unfathomable to me. And there have even been dangerous cases where these women have written to these men, and for whatever reason, the men have gotten out either on parole or whatever. And one of them, he came and he killed her. She came, she got him, she picked him up from jail. They were together, everything. And then he kills her just within a couple of days of getting out, ends up back in jail. There was another case where he beat where the guy beat the girl to a bloody pulp in an argument, ends up back in prison. So this is very dangerous. This is not something to take lightly. It is a super scary thing. And I just, what do you guys think? I cannot fathom why people would do this. I mean, there's no hope for this. Most of them are not getting out. What kind of relationship are you going to have with somebody who is never going to get out? I don't understand. We had this situation with Dawn and Nicholas, and she really believed that somehow she would get him out and they would live happily ever after. And I just couldn't understand how a person could think that way. So what do you guys think? Would you write a person in prison like this? Have you ever written to somebody in prison? We write to them. We have. In fact, Christina just got a letter from Scott Peterson just a little bit ago. But we have different reasons for writing them than these people. And I just, it's like little groupies. I have never understood this. Like you see them, they're all at the trials, and they're professing love for them and sending them things. I mean, I don't get it. I don't get it. Do you think this is a chemical imbalance that makes them fantasize about these types of things? You know what, Stephanie? Maybe. Hopefully if Amanda gets on here, she might be able to give some more insight into that. I do think that there could be some sort of chemical imbalance going on in the head. And definitely, like I said, you brought up the question of whether or not you thought it was due to some type of abuse or anything. And I would say that would make a lot of sense for me, that there's got to be a reason. Well, yeah, that's different, but you're not trying to have a relationship with them, writing to somebody in prison, and having just trying to care about them or show them that somebody in the world is still there. I can understand that in some instance, I personally, I would write Ed Kemper. I would totally write Ed Kemper, and I would probably have a great amount of information with him, but, a relationship exchange, not romantic, but I would be friendly, because he's fascinating to me and I would enjoy speaking to him and learning more about him. But beyond that, like falling in love with somebody behind bars like this, and I'm not talking about a guy who robbed the liquor store down the street, or, like Christina's situation where she had a friend, that, yeah. Do you want me to take him though?
Yeah.
Come here. Okay, give him here. Hurry up, give him here.
He's being fussy.
Oh, are you fussy boy? Say
Hi.
hi, Wai Wai. Say hi. Oh, you got milk on your chin. Oh,
Yeah,
you
he
got
does
milk
that.
on your chin. What are you doing? Yeah, you like Nan. Yeah, I would write to the Menedez boys. I definitely would. I can understand writing to people and being friendly, but I just can't understand being romantic. Like, where do you think that relationship is going? I don't get it. I literally do not understand what these women are thinking. I know he's getting so big, right, Stella? Oh my goodness, he's such a big boy now. Are you fussy? Are you being fussy for Aunt Abby? Oh, but I can see the attraction to wanting to understand them and maybe trying to figure out what this person is about and what they're really like. I get that. But beyond that, I just don't think that I could do it. I don't think that I would ever strike up some sort of relationship with a guy. How can you have an intimate relationship? Right? Exactly. How would you have any type of romantic relationship? It's not like you're going to sit and watch freaking, a movie together with popcorn and crap. It's a manipulation, narcissistic type of situation. So that's unhealthy. Maybe these women are vulnerable. Yes, they are. Generally, they are vulnerable women who are not making a connection with somebody in real life. So maybe, like they said, it's like a situation where, well, I don't really have to be attached to this person very much. I don't have to, I don't have to have a real relationship. He's not going to tell me what to do or what to wear or where to go or how to see people or anything. I can go do whatever I want, and then I can have a conversation with him over the phone and maybe go see him once in a while. And then, that's it. That's all the commitment I got to give, and I can do whatever the hell I want. So I guess maybe there's an attraction there to that, but what in the world? Okay, well, anyway, I don't know what's going on with Amanda. I guess the weather is really bad there. It's pretty bad here too. It's been terrible. But I mean, I do think these women are vulnerable. I do think that there is something that is upset, that is just not right. There is something that's going on in their brain. You don't get involved with the murderer because you are okay. That's not something that you're doing because you're all right. It's not. So I do think that there's something to be said for that. And like I said, I'm going to be researching this more, and hopefully we can come back and visit this subject when Amanda is able to get on. I know we're having an ice storm coming through the lower half of the United States. So what are you doing, happy boy? Oh, you were all fussy for Aunt Abby, and now you're just happy for Nan? Okay. You want to see everybody? Can everybody see this little baby? You see. Say hi, Wai. Hi, Wai. This is my first grandson. He is Wyatt Lee. I love him to death, and he is 2 months old. Isn't he adorable? Love him very much. Okay, sit down. Sit right there, okay? While Nan does her thing. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments of all of this. Thank you guys for interacting tonight. Stephanie, I really appreciate some of the insight that you provided and the questions that you asked. So please come back and chat with us on the rest of our things. We have a lot of stuff going on. So tonight, this is Psych Talk. Psych Talk will be on Tuesday nights from now on. And then Lipstick, Lashes, and Lies with Stella will be Thursday nights. She's got some great cases that she's going to be covering. She is adorable. I love Stella so much. I'm so glad that she came on to the company and is participating and co-hosting with us. Adorable. Absolutely. She's just adorable. So you're going to want to check her out on Thursday night at 8 p.m. And of course, come back for our Friday Night Live. Brandy and I will be talking about the Night Stalker, Richard Ramirez, and I will be covering some of the information about the relationship that he had with his wife. But eventually she did figure out that he was, that he really had come and that he really had committed the crimes. She really did finally figure it out. She realized that she was, wrong, and that he really was a horrible, evil person. And then she was scared for herself, after that. But which, he's behind bars. He's not gonna get out and hurt her. But I guess he could have convinced her that somebody else could have hurt her or something. So I've been looking into that. But anyway, guys, have a good night. Thanks for tuning in tonight and dishing true crime with the good wives. and Murdered by Design. Don't forget to join our Patreon membership club to get exclusive mini episodes. Well, yeah, you want to talk? You want to talk? Okay. Inside documents and pictures from the case, live YouTube discussions, our exclusive discussion group on Facebook, and get some amazing Good Wives merch. I told you there's a brand new stuff coming out. Go check it out over on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at True Crime Wives. And for more inside information, check out our podcast. We're coming back in March, guys. The Good Wives Guide to True Crime. And our current one that we're running right now is Gone Cold. It's all about missing persons and unsolved cases. And we have Todd Matthews, the former director of NamUs and the owner of the Doe Network. And he is just amazing. His information that he gives us is incredible. So you guys want to check that out. You can check it out on any of the your favorite podcast players, or you can go find everything that we do. And we do have quite a bit of free content. If you just click on the True Crime tab on our website, you can go ahead and you'll see all of our YouTubes there, our blogs, our podcasts, and it's all free. There is a membership club, but you don't have to join it to get all of that. So that's over at madgingerentertainment.com. And you guys have a good one from the Good Wives, serving up true crime, one dish at a time. Bye, guys.